I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I choose love, love, love. Love, love, love. I choose it, love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I choose peace, 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 peace. Peace, peace, peace. I feel it, peace, 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 peace. I choose peace, peace, peace. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I choose joy, joy, joy. I feel it, joy, joy, joy. Every day it's joy, joy, joy. I'm choosing joy, joy, joy. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my.
Good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Celebration Center. We used to say Good Morning Celebration Center, but now we have no idea who is watching us. And if this video is brought to you by your Facebook feed or YouTube or wherever you see us, just know that we welcome you in our community and we are happy, happy, happy that you are with us. My name is Irina Kurashevich and I'm practitioner at the center and I'm the host of this service. So today we continue our global theme for 2021, and it is Timeless Wisdom, Evolutionary Vision. Our June theme is Pause for Guidance. Our speaker today is Reverend Sherry Quander, and her topic is Faith, Trust, and Pixie Dust. We are blessed with wonderful musicians today. We have our own music director, Lynn Hollifield, and we have our beloved Leah. They will be with us. Today, Reverend Chris Ashley, our senior minister, she is with us, but you can't see her because she's out of town and she's at the SOAR conference. And I'm also very grateful to know that today we will be praying with Suzanne Delahaye, our platform practitioner. And of course, Ivor is behind all the computers and all the keyboards and camera. And Harrison Snow, one of the members of our leadership council, he's our greeter today. So we will all very, very warmly greeted. So I am absolutely happy that you all are here, in presence, online, and everywhere you are. We usually start our service with our announcements now. So last Sunday, Reverend Chris invited us all to participate in the visioning. And if you didn't do it, if you could not be there, I have a wonderful news for you. It didn't happen. The storm was so strong that lots of people didn't have good internet connection and could not attend. So it is rescheduled for this coming Tuesday, August 17th. It will be on Zoom. You can find the Zoom button on our website. And so please come and vision with us. You don't need to have any experience in visioning, just willingness. And especially if you haven't tried this spiritual practice, just please join us and it will be wonderful. Another announcement I have, it's the invitation to be a part of Ministerial Review Committee. This is an opportunity to sit down with our senior minister, Reverend Chris, and look at our progress as well as expectations and agreements and see how Reverend Chris and our community is doing. If you are interested in serving in this committee, please contact the Leadership Council President, Janine Bellew. And as I said, you're all welcome here. So if it's your first time, please send some comment. Tell us who you are or just say hi. We're absolutely happy to know that you are here and to get that confirmation. Let's recite our vision. We usually do it with a congregation each week because we say it aloud. Our vision was created by this community. People who were interested, who had that heart call, and they came together and sit down and put the meaningful words, meaningful for this community. And that's how we came up with this vision. So please, it will be on the screen. Take a deep breath. Say it with joy and enjoyment. Celebrating spirit within and knowing the oneness of humanity. And I think that our vision reflects how we live. And when we recognize the oneness of humanity, we recognize that things are going on around the globe. So I invite us all to take a moment and to go to a prayer about the earthquake that Haiti was experiencing recently. Please know with me that God is. And God is there and everywhere and here and now and forever. And just wrap people and animals of Haiti knowing oneness of humanity, knowing oneness with God, knowing that love is, peace is, harmony is, knowing kindness, knowing prosperity and abundance, knowing that the help, whatever is needed, is available right here, right now. That the global heart is open to love and to embrace people of Haiti. And I just know, in deep gratitude, Love prevails. And I just let it be. And this is so. And so it is.
I'd like to do a song about this beautiful season that we're in right now, late summertime. The way the sun is in the sky, crickets humming in time. You see the leaves begin to die. We're in late summertime. Noise and reaps what we have sown. The earth ready is for the cold. And autumn often comes to mind in this late summertime. Daylight slowly shortens now, and more than half the year is done. And on this perfect day I find I'm lost in late summertime. Shadows cast a longer view. Cooler nights are a welcome too. Flowers start to bide their time. They know it's late summertime. A hint of fall is in the air. Winter's hiding, still time to spare. And spring just seems so far behind. In this late summertime, daylight slowly shortens now, and more than half the year is done. And on this perfect day I find I'm lost in late summertime. And on this perfect day I find I'm lost in late summertime. Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. My name is Suzanne Delahaye. I'm a practitioner here at the center, a licensed practitioner. And if you are joining us for the first time here in person or online, we're so grateful for your presence. and we'd like to get to know you. If you're online, you can say hello in the chat and let us know where you are. And if you're here in the room, we'd love to welcome you. If you feel comfortable, you can raise your hand. Thank you for coming, and we look forward to getting to know you more. A practitioner is somebody who has undertaken a journey of spiritual growth and study to dedicate ourselves to holding consciousness and knowing the truth in any situation. We are available for prayer and one-on-one spiritual guidance sessions. And you may visit the website for more information. And as for prayer requests, we would love to pray with you. That's one of our prime jobs here at the center is prayer. There are a couple of different ways you can do that. One is for you to send us a request via email at prayer@celebrationcenter.org. I'll read that again. prayer@celebrationcenter.org. The other is to visit our website at celebrationcenter.org and click on the request affirmative prayer. These prayers will go to our practitioners and ministers who will pray with you throughout the week. And for a reading, we have a reading from the Science of Mind magazine in December 2013. Just my imagination. But it was just my imagination, once again running away with me. Norma Whitfield and Barrett Strong. It is done unto you as you believe. No more simple and yet no more profound statement could be made. Too many times we make up a story in our minds about what a situation is or is not. This is true in a famous song by the Temptations. The man telling the story in the song has such a deep love affair with a woman who he admits he has never met. Some people believe imagination is a cruel joke on humanity. Yet others know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that imagination is a gift that allows us to experience without limitation the ideas of all things possible. Guided meditation is all about imagination. An individual is asked to journey without ever physically leaving his or her current location and position. This is a very powerful use of imagination. Many people use guided meditation to relieve stress, manage pain, and create peace in their bodies. The body cannot tell the difference between what is imagined and what is real. End quote, real. So when we engage the mind in unopposed ideas and visions of wholeness, joy, and peace, the body automatically provides the benefits of that which is imagined. It serves us well to entertain thoughts of health, wholeness, peace, balance, and joy. In instances like this, we can certainly invite the imagination to run with us over and over again. Affirmation: I use my imagination to recognize my wholeness. And I see and I believe that I am whole now. And now we enter into prayer. And I know with every fiber of my being, every ounce of my body, every cell in my existence, and that which flows out from me, I know that this is true, that there is only one presence, one experience of all that is, knowing no time, no space. It is all here, it is all now. And knowing this, I am one with this power and this presence and this experience of wholeness, completion, joy, harmony, peace. Because I am one with this. And all who are listening are one with this also. This power, this presence. And knowing that as I experience this oneness, as I experience my unity with the whole, and knowing that all is well, I experience this expression of joy. And as I experience this expression of joy, all others are invited to express this and experience this with me. And as I know that the truth of my being is wholeness, is joy, is completion, I know that all is well. I know that all things are well. All things are well. All manner of things are well. And knowing this, truth is my whole being. And knowing that the truth of God experiences all that we have, is all that there is. And as I welcome this experience of wellness, this experience of wholeness, I know that everything in the world works for everybody. All cognizant, all conscious and self-conscious beings are true, have truth, know truth, and that this oneness expression of all is and has always been. And as I know this, I know that all things have been in perfect harmony, regardless of appearances. We may make judgments, and things are well. All things are well. All manner of things are well, regardless of what we think of them. And knowing this to be true, I release my words unto the law, and with deep gratitude, with deep experience of gratitude to the law, knowing that it is true, knowing that it is well, knowing that it is done in wholeness and completion, I release my word unto that law, and know, and I say, and so it is.
Good morning, Celebration Center. It's been a while, and in case we haven't met, I'm Leah, but I am so pleased to know that you are still in the same place, still emanating that beautiful joy and love and faith. And if I had only known, Suzanne, that you were going to be quoting the Temptations, I would have prepared specifically that song. Maybe next time we're together. But this is a song that has been a gift to me in the last year to remind myself to listen within, to listen in the moment, and be present for the wisdom and guidance that's always available to us. I'm listening, I am listening, Spirit, speak to me. I'm listening, I am listening, Spirit, speak to me. My hands are wide open, heart is wide open, to see what I may be. I'm listening, I am listening, Spirit, speak to me. I'm listening, I am listening, Spirit, speak to me. I'm listening, I am listening, Spirit, speak to me. My hands are wide open, heart is wide open, to see what I may be. I'm listening, I am listening, Spirit, speak to me. I'm listening, I am listening, Spirit, speak to me. I'm listening, I am listening, Spirit, speak to me. My hands are wide open, heart is wide open, to see what I may be. I'm listening, I am listening, Spirit, speak to me. If you're familiar, please sing it with me. I'm listening, I am listening, in this moment, Spirit, speak to me. I can hear the voices of all my listening, singing, I'm listening, howling, Spirit, we're all calling into the wind. My hands are wide open, heart is wide open, to see what I may be. I'm listening, in this moment of silence, I think Spirit speaks to me. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning, Celebration Center for Spiritual Living. I would like, excuse me, to take a moment to thank Reverend Chris
for extending the invitation for me to join you all this morning. And I would like to thank Irina for making sure I had everything I needed to be here this morning. And Miss Leah, it is just wonderful to hear your voice again. You have just set the stage for all of us to have an open heart and have a presence here this morning. Now, it's interesting, we all have to disrobe when you get up here and take the masks off and all that sort of stuff, but I guess that's just the way it is. Okay. The Science of Mind textbook states, the first great discovery man made was that he could think. This was the day when he first said, I am. This marked his first day of personal attainment. From that day, man became an individual and had to make all further progress himself. From that day, there was no compulsory evolution. He had to work in his consciousness, just that union with life. During this month of August, we are kind of focusing our attention on pausing for guidance, for offering ourselves some rest, for rejuvenation, and preparing for the next leg of our journey, whatever that might be. This week, our focus is on duplicating the creative and self-giving nature of spirit. How do we do that? Principles of divine imagination. The universal mind localizes as and through each of us as individualized expressions of all that God is. The universal mind is ever present within us, outpicturing as us, and supporting us in ideas, in our intuition, and in our imagination. The title of my talk today is Faith, Trust, and Pixie Dust. Believe it or not, we've been through a lot in the last year. And I don't think there's anyone here or anyone at home here who's joining us today would disagree that this last 18 months has been extremely challenging. And we get to remember one thing, and that is this too shall pass. And we are seeing movement for us to begin to reclaim our ability to be out and among one another in spite of this COVID virus. But we have to remember that there are always times in progress where we take 3 steps forward and then 2 steps back. But what we get to remember is that God is in every step. So to continue moving forward out of these confinements of this coronavirus, we must demonstrate our belief, our trust, and our faith that we are moving forward no matter what it looks like right now. We can look at this COVID virus opportunity, this confinement we've all had to experience on one level or another, as an opportunity for rest, as an opportunity to spend time with our families that we may never have gotten, a time to recoup our thoughts and pay attention to our own hearts and heal our own bodies. To help us lure ourselves out of this COVID experience or any other healing process, it's time to call on the vastness of the infinite creativity. Albert Einstein wrote, "Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions." We have a fertile mind. We were given a fertile imagination. when our inner visions fills and flows and moves, we are involved in our thoughts, our ideas, our feelings, our links to our own intuition, and we have sparked our imagination. We're all imbued and surrounded by the presence that is continually imagining and reimagining itself as you, as your growth in consciousness, your acts of compassion, your exploration of greater love, and the adventure into the unknown. When I was thinking about this idea of imagination, several individuals came to mind. The first individual that came to mind for me, who just was to me the epitome of imagination when I was a child, and still is to this day, the great Walt Disney. He said, when you believe in a thing, believe in it all the way, implicitly and unquestionably. Fortunately, in my life, I was given the opportunity to work for Walt Disney, to work for his company. I had many years in show business. And I remember back when I first started working for Walt Disney, the one thing that new employees all had to do was to go through an orientation. And on that first day of orientation, we get a whole lot of information. I mean, where things are, and your ID badges, and all this sort of technical information. But we're also given some information, some of which has stuck with me to this day. I remember on that first day of orientation, we were told the story of Walt Disney's first big demonstration of his own belief in his own imagination. Some 70 plus years ago, Walt Disney believed he could build a successful business based on the idea of having fun, based on the idea of having the faith and the trust and the belief in his own dreams. He was an animator for many years. He created the Mickey Mouse and the Donald Ducks and the Goofies and Pluto, and also Minnie. Let's not forget her, she's important. He had an irascible personality. And over the many years, there were some rumors about him circulating that he was a little anti-Semitic and that he was a little bit of a racist. Disney's desire to create a world that he eventually labeled the happiest place on earth outweighed many of these rumors. Disney struggled with his artistry. He struggled with his ideas to get beyond this comic strips. He started out doing cartoons. And to take his dream beyond that, it was a challenge. But he believed. And so he eventually put together enough money to produce a film, an animated film. And he started on the project. And of course, got about 3/4 of the way through the project and ran out of money. He had to figure out how to beg, borrow, and borrow some more to get the money to finish this project. But he believed he could do it. He believed that this film would be a success and a positive influence and reaction to the public. Well, the film was released in 1938. It did get completed. And at that time, it brought in $8 million. Now, of course, in today's economy, and I went and did the math, folks, in today's economy, that would be the equivalent of $144,707,778. Okay. With that money, Disney repaid his investors, and he began to build his studio. in Burbank. Now, this film that he successfully produced was called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. When Disney was designing his studio, they created an executive office building. And he designed the office building to have an A-frame roof. And he asked his designers to create statues, sculptures of each of the seven dwarfs. And he had the dwarfs designed so that their arms were up in the air. So each dwarf was placed on the top of or underneath the A-frame on that executive office building. So they were evenly placed under that A-frame with their hands up in the air. And they did that as a reminder that this film was the one that saved Disney's career. So to this day, when you walk by that office building, you look up and you see those dwarfs holding up that roof. But it was his belief in the dwarfs. It was his belief in his imagination that he could build a company. Just leave that there. That he could build a company. And that movie demonstrated that belief. Now, the second thing that I will always remember about that orientation day is they taught us how to remember the names of the dwarfs. Anybody know the names of the dwarfs? I get names coming out. They taught us how to remember the names of the dwarfs. 2 D's, 2 S's, and 3 emotions. So we have Doc and Dopey. We have Sleepy and Sneezy. And we have Happy, Bashful, and Grumpy. So I will always remember the names of the dwarfs. Early in Disney's imagination, it inspired him to create a television series, which aired in the 50s. And I was born in the 50s. And I just gave away my age. Oops. Let that one slip, okay? So none of y'all heard that, okay? He had a television series, which my brother and I just adored. And his imagination inspired him to design an amusement park. And he wanted it to be referred to as the happiest place on earth. In 1965, he began work on another amusement park in Orlando, Florida. And he wanted that one to be referred as the most magical place on earth. So this man lived his imagination. He believed in his imagination. My brother and I, as I said, were diehard Disney fans. I got dry throat this morning. Excuse me. Okay. My brother and I were diehard Disney fans, and we watched the TV show religiously. But I remember on the morning of December 16th, 1965, my mother tiptoed into my room, and she sat down and she says, "I have something to tell you." And I'm looking, and she says, "I just want you to know that Walt Disney died yesterday." She shared that information as though it were a family member. And to me, it was a great imaginative mind had left. His personality, his creativity, his imagination, his legacy lives on. He didn't live to see the opening of the Epcot Center in Orlando, which was his most magical place on earth. His imagination brought childlike innocence out of every single one of us. I know when I was working for the company, we had opportunities on a pretty regular basis to go down to the happiest place on earth. And it was literally we just returned to 10 years old. You got out of the parking lot and you walked through the gate and you were immediately 10 years old. If you had kids with you, they just loved it. If you didn't have kids with you, you had other adults, and we just loved it. If you ever crossed that threshold, what you found was laughter and joy and happiness and a childlike innocence that Ernest Holmes says we all get to experience. The board of directors of the Walt Disney Corporation decided to carry out Walt Disney's dream of completing the facility in Orlando, and it is now cemented into his legacy with all the rest of his imagination. An author by the name of J.M. Barrie, who wrote the novel called Peter and Wendy, and who wrote the play called Peter Pan, introduced Walt Disney to a character named Tinkerbell. Now, Tinkerbell became an unofficial mascot, which Disney used to signify his belief in imagination and magic. Tinkerbell dispensed what we call pixie dust. Now, I've done a lot of research on pixie dust. There's all different colors of pixie dust. And those different colors of pixie dust, when sprinkled on you, is there to support you in growth in your life in different ways. Now, I wasn't going to take the time to come in here today and give you all the lessons on pixie dust, but what we know about pixie dust is that when it was sprinkled on people, it enabled you to fly. And so the flight was fueled by happiness. The flight was fueled by imagination. The flight was fueled by our belief in who we are. It reminded us to believe that all things are possible. Now, a few years back, I worked on the conference committee. It was back in 2012, 13, the CSL annual conference committee. And one year we held that conference in Orlando at the world's most magical place. And pixie dust was a prominent thing that we had everywhere. So I started to bring some today, only the stuff is horrible at getting it up off your carpet. And getting it out of your hair. So I decided to leave it at home. J.M. Barrie wrote, "The world is made of faith, trust, and pixie dust." The quality of the character of one's imagination often corresponds to one's mental and emotional state. Feeling adrift, separated from spirit, anxious, disconnected. If one is thinking as though they are separated from all that God is, this kind of thinking can bring on thoughts of lack and limitation, scarcity, fear. This mental and emotional state might trigger an imagination that negates the spiritual truth of our being. One might imagine the worst of possibilities. Feeling free, calm, receptive, connected, refreshed, awake, alert, in the flow of circulation of your good, of your compassion. The more we feel in the flow of spirit, the more we constructively use our imagination. Imagining something greater and more expansive naturally causes us to lift our consciousness, to lift our spirit. This allows us to contribute to our good, making the world a place that works for everyone. We speak of the principle of prosperity. We must remember that prosperity is not just a journey about money. Prosperity is a state of consciousness based in truth that God is the source and substance of all of our supply. When we allow ourselves to daily reaffirm our oneness with spirit, we open ourselves to our own imagination, our own creativity, which can result in bringing us new opportunities and can result in having the doors of prosperity open and allowing money to flow into our lives from every single direction. I know as I was growing up, Disney inspired my imagination. I wanted to be a part of this show business thing. I wanted to be on that little box where he was that I turned on once a week. And my imagination went on and on about that. And I had parents who knew absolutely nothing about show business. And they had a child that talked about it constantly. And my belief in my imagination, my belief in and faith that I was going to get to be in that box or working with those people who were in that box, it came true. And I ended up having the opportunity to work with the next gentleman who I had thought was outrageously imaginative, and that was Norman Lear. So my belief in my imagination demonstrated all that I had dreamed of. So I invite you to set an intention to be more mindful and appreciative of the fertile and vivid imagination. This may mean that you adjust and attune and direct your spiritual practice to include more imagination time and to include more creative expression. What is it that you can do to bring you joy? That's creative. That's fun. You know, that's how we know it's creative. That's how we know it's our imagination. It's fun. We do it because it's fun. In your moments of imagination, notice your feelings. Notice the qualities that arise. Notice the emotions that are flowing within you. Notice how they change, how you look at life and how your body feels. We are the means by which God expresses itself. When we are loving ourselves more and more each day, only God's highest and best good is demonstrating in our lives. So I close with the words of Dr. Wayne Dyer. He wrote, "You can choose to function at a lower level of awareness and simply exist, caring for our possessions, eating, drinking, sleeping, managing the world as pawns of the elements. Or we can soar to new and higher levels of awareness, allowing ourselves to transcend our environmental and literally create a world of our own, a world of real magic. With God, faith, trust, and pixie dust, all things are possible." And so it is. Join me now as we move into that place of prayer. Join me now as we know the one truth. That one truth is that God is all there is. God is the source and substance of all of our supply. Each and every one of us is an individualized expression of all that God is. We are one with that God life force. God needs us to express itself. So I know right here and right now, I declare that I am a magnificent, individualized expression of all that God is. I am here for a purpose. My opportunity on an every moment basis is to discover more of who I am. Discover more of what brings me joy. Discover more about love. Discover more about acceptance. Acceptance of others as we are all on our walk with God. For we know that for every spirit, every life that is on this planet, that is a different path to God. All roads lead to God. So we choose now to accept our road, our magnificence. We are in that place of knowing that there is no place that God is not. So I know now, as we declare healing from that earthquake in Haiti, God is in the middle of that. I know as we declare healing for those people in the Northwest in the fire zones, God is in the middle of that. I know as we recognize those people who are experiencing flooding in their lives, all the challenges of Mother Nature, God is in the middle of that. God is constantly guiding, directing, inspiring, prospering, and blessing us in every single moment. All we need to do is say yes. So I give thanks for the guidance that each and every one of us receives as we say yes to our magnificence. I say, I am grateful, Lord, grateful for each and every one of my life experiences, for I know I would not be who I am without them. I am grateful, Spirit, as you lead me, inspire me, protect me, show me in all of the good that is coming into my life. I expect my good. That is what I expect. And we know that all we need to do is ask. All we need to do is expect. And all we need to do is accept. So thank you, Spirit. For all those who are with us today that require physical or emotional or spiritual healing, we know God is in the middle of this. Because God is about healing. God is about light. God is about growth. God is about expansion. God is about prosperity. God is about my good. So I am grateful. My mind, my spirit, my body are healed. That is what I expect. That is what I am grateful for. So I joyfully and gratefully release these words that have just been spoken here now into that divine, loving mind and heart of God, knowing they are already done and complete in that mind of God by means of each one of us here present in this room and each one of us here listening this morning. God is everywhere present. And together we say, and so it is.
Thank you, Reverend Sherry. It's a blessing to hear your voice and your wisdom again as well. Thank you. I really appreciated the invitation and the reminder to engage imagination more in our spiritual practice. I was very tempted to sing It's a Small World. I looked up the lyrics and everything, but I'm going to sing this song. In a sense, it's an imaginative song because it's personifying that love that is all there is. So when it becomes familiar to you, I invite you to sing it as a call and response. What you could sing is, love lead the way it'll become familiar to you. Love, would you guide my feet? Love, would you light my path? Love, lead the way. Love, will you fill my needs? Love, will you do the math? Love, lead the way. Lead the way. Lead the way. And I will walk with trust today. In all I do, in all I say, I will follow. Love, lead the way. When I don't know what I'm doing, when nothing feels okay, love, lead the way. When everything seems broken and I'm holding fear at bay, love, lead the way. Lead the way. Lead the way. And I will walk with trust today. In all I do, in all I say, I will follow. Love, lead the way. All right, one more time. Let's do it as a call and response. Lead the way. Lead the way. Lead the way. Lead the way. And I will walk. And I will walk with trust today. Sing with me now. With trust today. In all I do, in all I do, in all I say, in all I say, I will follow. I will follow. Love, lead the way. Love, lead the way. I know that love will lead the way. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Leah. Thank you for inviting us in your wonderful home studio, whatever studio it is. It's absolutely wonderful to be with you. Thank you. And thank you again, Reverend Sherry. That was wonderful. Very entertaining, very educating, and inspiring. Thank you. And thank you, Lynn, for creating this wonderful music program for us. So as as practitioners and our ministers, our speakers, we always mention the spiritual practices. There are lots of them. And one of them, according to Science of Mind teaching, is the spiritual practice of giving. We all know that there is a law of circulation and it works constantly. So that's how we invite you to participate in the law of circulation as we give and we receive. So there are several ways to give to the Celebration Center. You can volunteer, with us doing this hybrid type of service, there are roles opening to be volunteers. So if you would like to do that, just contact Reverend Chris, and I am sure she'll find something wonderful for you to do and to be. Harrison is laughing, he knows. Yeah, volunteering is fun, I can tell you that. And, also we know that the law of circulation works about finances. Money is, according again to science of mind, is the energy. And wherever we put our energy, we know that we receive more of that. So if the Celebration Center is a place that inspires you, that helps you, that supports you in your spiritual life, please consider giving to our center. And when we give, you can give to us in so many ways. If you go to our website, celebrationcenter.org, you can find a button where you can easily donate, or you can mail it to our mail address, or you can leave check or cash here in the office. We're absolutely grateful for any form of giving. So when we give, we support it with the affirmation we have. And here it is on the screen. So please read with me. I open my heart to give and receive the blessings that our Spirit's promised to me. As I do, the entire universe conspires to give me an abundant life, and I open to accept it. And so it is.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This playful on this day. We're playful on this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. We're grateful for this day. We're grateful for this day.
And we know that we are truly blessed. That one of the abundance of spirit is prosperity. Prosperity in means of ways that we are truly blessed, and that our experiences of prosperity are here and now. We don't worry about how it comes, but it will be here. And we give thanks for this knowing. And we turn our thoughts and feelings and blessings to the wishes for and requests for prayer, knowing that mind knows what they are. The one mind knows, and the one mind knows that all is well, and that life is pure, is whole, is glorious. And in this glory of life, in this joy of life, that we experience wholeness and wellness. And knowing this to be true, I give thanks as I know that the requests that are put in a box, that are put within the website or emailed to us, that is our blessings. And knowing this, my heart overflows with gratitude, with truth, and so it is.
Okay, I'm going to do a closing song. Regardless of having to wear all these, we can see each other smiling through our eyes as my glasses fog up. But I thought I'd do an old song called When You're Smiling. When you're smiling, the whole world smiles at you. When you're laughing, the sun comes shining through. But when you're crying, you bring on the rain, so stop your sighing and be happy again. So keep on smiling, 'cause when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. When you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. When you're laughing, the sun comes shining. But when you're crying, you bring out the rain, so stop your sighing and be happy again. So keep on smiling, 'cause when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. The whole world smiles with you. The whole world smiles with you.
Oh, thank you, Lynn. We all need to smile behind these masks. I think that has been the challenge, that you can't see anybody's face and we can't enjoy anybody's smile. So we just trust and know that there's smiles back there. We have enjoyed God's beautiful day. We have enjoyed being in the presence of one another. We have enjoyed inviting all of you who are out there, who are joining us online. We have celebrated life. We have celebrated our imagination. We have been blessed with wonderful music. We have been blessed with wonderful prayer. We have been blessed with our continued renewed awareness that God is the source and substance of all of our supply. So this is the day the Lord hath made. We celebrate and we give thanks. We move out into our day, taking this joy, taking this celebration, taking the warmth in our hearts that we have rejuvenated this morning and sharing it with all of those with whom we come in contact. So I gratefully and joyfully release these words now in celebration into that heart and mind of God, knowing these words are already done and complete in that mind of God by means of each one of us here present. And together we say, and so it is.
With that, we thank everyone who's watching us. And I think everyone who is here, this is so good to see this group of people. Some of you I haven't seen for a long, long time, and it's so, so good to see you. We're done, Ivor? Okay. So